Hello everyone, Tina here. I hope your day's going wonderful. I'm back again to share some club kits with you from Spellbinders. Today we are going to be creating with the embossing folder of the month club kit for July 2023. It's called Christmas Wrap Pattern, and then we have the clear stamp and die of the month club kit. It's called Pine Cones and Holly. All month long we're celebrating Christmas in July, so you're going to see a lot of holiday cards. And I'm super excited to share them with you. We're going to jump in and create 2 cards, and we're going to start with our Pine Cones and Holly stamp set. I'm going to bring in my stamping positioner, and we're going to stamp our large image. This is a frame, and it is really pretty. Large size, so I'm going to bring in my stamping positioner. I already have some white cardstock in here. And I thought we would heat emboss this beautiful frame with some gold embossing powder. So I'll treat my paper with my anti-static powder tool. I'll use Versamark ink and go over my image. I'm going to stamp it a couple times. That way we can get a good impression. Although, did you know if you used like your Versamark ink pad and gold, the gold would still show up over the black ink? Wonderful. I think. I can't really tell. But I'm going to go over with some gold embossing powder. A lot of detail in this image. It's so pretty. I'm going to use my heat gun and we'll melt this. After our frame is melted, we are going to go ahead. There's some extra images in our stamp set. We're going to make 2 cards today. So I'm going to stamp the extra images a couple times. And I'm not sure what sentiment I want to use, so I'm going to stamp them all. So let's bring in some more cardstock here. I have everything die cut out. Originally I was going to leave it gold because the surface for coloring is very small, but I think I am. I'm going to go over the berries and then the holly leaves and the pine cones here with some reds and greens and brown inks. So I'm going to do that and I will be right back. Now I went ahead and added my color, but it didn't really make that much of a difference. And you can see on my poinsettia flowers, my alcohol marker ink just sat on top of my embossing, and it doesn't look really pretty. So to fix it, I'm just going to use an alcohol prep pad, and then I'm going to go over my embossed image, and it's just going to take away the ink that's sitting on top. So removing my alcohol ink just from those areas, it did cause a little discoloration. I have a little pink edges where the white was, but I don't think it's that noticeable. And then I have my berries here. I'm not going to worry about these because half of the little berries are probably not even where they're supposed to go. I just dotted this little berry branch. And I'm going to actually take my red marker and add some more color around here by doing some little berry dots. I could probably use gems too, but I just want to spread out some of this color. I think that's the right amount. All my stamping is done now. I'm going to put these off to the side, and then we're going to do some embossing. We're going to use our Christmas wrap pattern. Now my idea today I got from the name of our embossing folder. It's it's a Christmas wrap pattern, so I thought we'd make a Christmas present on a card. So I'm going to use a white background. I'll for one of my cards, and then I'm going to bring in some of my mirror gold cardstock. I have a panel back here. Now while I'm embossing, I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit more die cutting. I have the Essential Squares die set. I'm going to use some white cardstock, and I'm going to create a square panel with the dotted detail and also the frame. So I'll have a square with some dotted detail around it. So I'll die cut this out. My embossing is done, and I think this is just gorgeous. Even the white one's really pretty. And then I have my panel, and then while I was at it, I embossed another panel with white cardstock, and then I took this die. This will actually create a window inside this panel, but I'm going to do a little bit of layering. So I embossed and then die cut this out. It did flatten it a bit, but I think for layering, I wanted a continuous pattern for the front of this card. So that's what I did with this. For my first card, we're going to create a present. I have some gingham ribbon. This is brown and black, but really for this, any kind of ribbon would work. And I am going to basically wrap this little square here. I will wrap it around the back here. I think for these kind of cards, any kind of ribbon you have would work, but I basically just wrapped a present. I'm going to use my scissors and we will trim this. Okay, we'll work on this card first. I'm going to take my mirror gold cardstock. We're going to adhere it directly to the front of an A2 size card base. And then I'm going to take our little present that we wrapped, and I'm going to glue this down to the front of my card. I'm not going to add any dimension because the ribbon, I think, is going to add enough dimension. And I'm going to use my tape runner for this. The nice thing about this is it'll go right over the ribbon. And we'll tack this down. Now we have our sentiment. I did stamp another one of my Merry Christmases. I wasn't sure if I would use it on this one or not, but I think we will. So I'll take my Merry Christmas, and I'm going to add some foam tape behind here. I call it foam tape, but they're foam squares. And we will add Merry Christmas and From Our House to Yours. I think that would fill this. And we have our flowers. I'm going to find one that's not smeared too much. I'll add a foam square behind here. This is going to go in the center of my bow. And then I'm going to add some berries. I'm going to do a little tucking with it. And that will finish off that card. I'm going to put this off to the side and we're going to work on our next card. We have our background. I'm going to adhere this to an A2 size card front. And then I'm going to pop this up with some Spellbinders pop-up foam. Okay, so we have pop-up foam here, and we have, I put pop-up foam here. I think for this card we're going to make a landscape style card. And I was looking at my ribbon, and I think I'm going to add some ribbon to this. So we're going to do a little card surgery. We're going to carefully lift this up. And I'm going to layer my ribbon here. And I'll wrap it around the back. And I think I'm going to create a present pattern with this too. So I will add and boy, this stuff really goes over anything. I'm gonna replace my embossed background. Wonderful. And then I'll add my frame here right in the middle. And then I have my embossed piece. We're going to layer right in the middle of that. And then we have our sentiment. I put some foam squares behind my Merry Christmas. We'll add that. And I'm going to put Happy New Year right below it. I have some leftover pop-up foam. I'm just going to trim a thin piece here and use my glue. And then I flipped over my flowers here. I'm going to add some small foam squares, and we'll add these to our card too. Do a little tucking with them. I really smeared my red ink, so to fix that, I'm going to use my white gel pen. Seems like white gel pens are great fixer-uppers. I'm just going to go around the edge with my white gel pen to make that a little bit more white and less pink. Okay, I'm going to bring back my Color Essential Gems, my red ones, and I will fill in the flower centers here. Wonderful. Okay, and that will finish that card. And that will finish off my card projects today. Today we used Spellbinders Clear Stamp and Die of the Month Club Kit. It's called, we double check it, Pine Cones and Holly. And then we used the embossing folder of the Month Club Kit, and that was called Christmas Wrap Pattern. So two fun wrapped Christmas card presents. Thanks so much for joining me. Have a wonderful day. We will see you soon. Bye-bye.